my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Dineo, commonly going as The Gifted Doctor. And this is my YouTube channel, The Gifted Doctor by Wellness 365. And here we have conversations with people who think they're ordinary, but to me, they're actually quite extraordinary and gifted. And where we chase our wellness 365 days a year. There's no day for Mahala. Well, let me welcome my guest for today, Mr. Sandile Chilli.
Hello, Dineo. Twinza.
Twinzozo.
The doctor, the gifted doctor. Hello, guys who are tuning in there at home. Yeah.
Welcome, Sandile. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the
It's been
invite.
a long time coming. Finally.
Finally, thank you, Jesus. He keeps his promises.
Sandile Chilli is a young pastor. He is a worshipper. He is a campus pastor. You know, the list goes on. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Sandile Chilli? Actually, start with Sandile the lion. Where does that come from?
Yo, guys. Well, it's a long story. It's a long story. So Sandile the lion comes from the Lion King.
Okay.
So, yes. God speaks in different ways. I'm sure as you are watching, and I'm sure you have also have had moments whereby God speaks to you. So the birth of Sandile the lion, or Sandile Mufasa, comes from the Lion King, the movie Lion King. So God spoke through the movie. I think I was doing my third year, about to finish varsity, and was really going through the hectic time in my life, whereby my identity was sort of like not intact. I did not believe in who I am and who God has called me to. And it goes back to my father. My relationship with my father was not an A-OK relationship in a way. It was just,
Is he still alive?
No, my father unfortunately has passed on. He passed on when I was 14. Still doing grade 9, yes. And so in that space, I was watching Lion King. I've watched the movie before, but somehow God had an appointment this time around and he wanted to speak.
Where were you? At the movie theater?
No, actually, I was watching it on my laptop, in my bed, in my room at rest.
Anti-climax.
Wait, so you're like boom, 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 Mufasa kind of a... No, it was the sound of a speaker, with laptop, and you know what? But God moved.
Hallelujah.
God moved, guys. So God can use any space, any medium to speak. And so as I was watching the character of Mufasa, God started speaking and how he was such a father. I mean, Simba at that time was really like, that wayward child and whatnot who didn't want to listen, but how Mufasa fathered him. And my relationship with my dad actually impacted the view of fatherhood. And so at the time, I did not even want to be a father because of how things were and how life was as a child growing up, being in an abusive household and whatnot. So I was like, I want nothing to do with this part of life. And then God started speaking through Mufasa. And from there, it so happened that we were going to a campus conference. I was still a student at the time. And you have your lanyards and then you have to write down your name. And I just wrote down Mufasa in my lanyard. And I drew that scruffy lion. It was so weird. But I knew that I got this word from the Lord, that it was affirming me that he has indeed, in fact, called me to be a father. For many years, I didn't believe that I was called to be a father. I was called into the ministry of being married. And so from there on, it became a prophetic declaration of my identity, but also the lion represents what royalty, it represents authority, it represents what, it represents you owning your space. And when you release that roar, like, man, people have to listen.
Of course.
So from there on, that's how it was birthed. So people don't actually realize that when they call me by Mufasa, they actually releasing
Sparking something.
you know, there's a prophetic space that is being activated in my life, that even if I forget that, hey, remember that day when you had dress, God said this and that to you. So it's a reminder every time when you say, hey, Mufasa, I'm like, yes, thank you for reminding me. So that's where the lion comes from.
That is amazing. I didn't even know that. But I could see that there's something about you and the lion.
Come on.
I need to find out about this one. Okay, so we're going to call you Mufasa going forward.
Thanks, twin.
Okay, so just before we carry on, let's hear a little bit about your background, where you're from,
Oh, my word. Yo, well, I've touched on a bit on the background. Sandile comes from, I was born in KZN, Umlazi. I'm an only child. I usually boast, okay, guys, please, I'm not blaspheming right now, okay? But the Alpha and Omega, you know?
You are,
the beginning and the end, that was it, you know? I'm an only child. Wish sometimes I had siblings though, you know, someone to nag around. Then my mom passed on when I was 6. And then I moved on to Mpumalanga, where I was raised by my guardians, who are my grandparents. But not really like grandparents as in Bazaluma. The grandmother part, she's an aunt to my mom. So yes, I grew up in Mpumalanga, Secunda, and then moved to Standerton, and then completed my matric, moved to Pietermaritzburg a year later to study at UKZN, and now I'm back in Durban.
Come on.
Yes.
Okay, do you feel like you're called for Durban? Do you feel like you're here to stay, or is it we'll see what God does?
Somehow, God moves me out of Durban and then brings me back. So I might still move out of Durban. I don't know. But in this season of my life, I do believe that I'm meant to be here. Yeah, I'm not sure for what. I won't really say it's in relation to the ministry that I'm doing. Maybe it is. But I do get a sense that I'm still meant to be here until further notice.
To be confirmed.
To be confirmed.
Okay, so obviously we met at the worship team. Hey, that's how we met. Is that how we met?
Yes. We met at the worship team.
I think that's how we met.
Then a mutual friend of ours actually drew us closer relationally. Yes, Crystal. Yes.
Okay, so obviously for me, what stands out for me is you're a singer, you're a worshiper. And here we are today. That's one of the biggest things about your life. So how did you find out you were a singer? How did you find out you were a worshiper? I mean, obviously, there's moments where people are like, hey, you can sing. But how did you know? Did you ever think, Wuti, you would end up here because of being, because of your voice?
No. Yo, guys, if I were to tell you the truth, I hate my voice. I don't like my voice. But surprisingly, people enjoy my voice. And I'm always in this fight with myself.
That's a good thing, right?
Well, if you're looking at pride and humility, yes, it's a good thing.
If you look at it from that angle.
From that angle. But yeah, fortunately, I guess, I come from a family of singers. Well, not renowned singers, but we sing at home. And so we used to have prayers, night prayers, and people will sing. But it wasn't then when I realized that I can sing. It was when I moved to Mpumalanga. So that's when I actually realized, I sing. But when I trace back, my family members tell stories of how I used to sing. I used to sing Amacula Semataveni because being a product of teenage pregnancy, guys, my mom will take me to the clubs with her.
Oh, wow.
So I'll pick up songs because she was like, no, she didn't want to stop enjoying life because now also mama, and people will be like, so she will go with me and Beletile in the back, and there's a pub by my house called Kwaskon. I don't know if it's still active. So now there was a song I used to sing, Kwaskona Etavet, not knowing that it's Taven, but I would say Tavet. There was a story about me saying I'm forgetting the song, but it was Jesus and being ungithandile, and I would say I just remember the song Ingoba ekuthandile. That's the song Ingoba ekuthandile.
Yeah.
And as I would sing as a kid, I would say Ingoba ekusandile, Ingoba ekusandile, waze wangifela.
Wow.
Not knowing what it meant,
Okay.
but because of where I am now, I'm
can
like,
think
God
back.
has been
Yeah,
pursuing me. But
sure.
back to the question at hand. So it was when I was doing grade 4.
Yeah.
New school in Mpumalanga, and it so happened that there was a talent show or whatever, a civic day or casual day, and each class or each grade had to do something.
Okay.
And I was like, can I sing? Because we've been singing at home. So I thought I can sing.
Okay.
Though I didn't know what it meant.
Okay.
And yeah, I organized a mini group. We sang a song. What was the song? Sizungeza sihlalo sobukhosi.
Okay.
I thought it was a great
still
idea.
remember?
I remember because it was very traumatic.
Okay.
The performance went well. They clapped, yay, that's nice. But I was called by that name, by the name of the song, my entire primary life.
Oh, shame.
So from there on, I hated singing.
And you didn't like your voice.
No, I didn't like my voice then. So I hated singing. So I never thought that I would actually do it again. But when I started going to church, I would be singing in the background or as part of the congregation. And then a guy, Caiaphas, was like, dude, you can sing. Please join the worship team. I was like, at a time, I'm so timid. Me on stage is like, nah.
Not the same
I'm
WhatsApp
afraid, I'm afraid of being in front of people and whatnot. Little did I know that's when God was really pulling me towards my calling, towards my destiny, towards my gift that I was afraid of pursuing. It was like, hey, let me nudge you into the right direction. And from there on, I've been involved in worship leading and worship spaces. So I guess then it was that year when I was doing grade 4 when I'm like, I can sing.
Very young.
Yeah.
At a very young age.
Yeah.
But what I hear is that it took people also spurring the gift on.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a...
Like, yeah, you can sing.
Yeah,
that's
you can
it.
sing. Let me do it.
Yo, friend, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And it's actually interesting. It's only recent that I can put 2 and 2, whereby I can say singing is part of my ministry, or worship leading or worship is part of my ministry. Because as you say, it took people. And for a huge period, a long period of time, it has always been people who were speaking about the gift.
Yeah.
But I never heard God speak to me about the gift.
Sure.
So it made it even more harder for me to realize it as a gift. Because I was like, no, guys, it's people. So and so is speaking. So and so. But God, are you actually saying this is where you want me?
Yeah.
So it took for me to get to that space where I'm like, God, you have said.
Okay.
God, you have spoken to me about
it. When did that moment happen where it was finally
to say.
like where you were like, okay, now this is confirmation from God?
Yeah, confirmation from God. Mfundisi, please forgive me if you're watching this.
What happened?
It was last year.
Only last year?
So wait, we're in 2023. So 2022, yes. That's when God finally was like, I want you to use this as an opportunity to minister. I've been getting prophetic words, but I never got speaking to me directly about worship. I'm really stubborn like that. People can talk and what and prophesy, that's good, but if God hasn't said it to me, I cannot run with that, because I have a strong belief that at the end of the day, I would have to be accountable to what God has said to me.
Yeah.
And I can't say Dineo said to me, when I'm being accountable for that. I have to be in a space where I'm like, God, I know what you said to me and I believed. So then I can properly be accountable whether I followed that or did I not. And why did I disobey if I disobeyed, So it was last year.
Sure, so good. Well done for sticking it out until last year.
So I've been riding on the waves of other people. Sure.
I guess people have a role to play in our lives.
True.
I guess.
True.
I
No,
guess.
of course, I really do believe that they helped.
Yes.
They have pulled me towards the right or pushed me towards the right direction. Maybe some parts I wouldn't have seen, I wouldn't have stepped out, and so community is important.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was at a TED Talk recently. It was last year actually. This lady called Margaret Hirsch. She was she was speaking, but this has nothing to do with what she was saying. So when she went up on stage, I started Googling her. Anyway, so I landed up on her website.
Sure.
On her website, the first thing I saw is this quote that says, your purpose in life is to find your gift and your mission is to give it away. So, do you feel like you are there yet? Are you on your way there? Where are you? First of all, do you believe that singing is your gift? Is it your only gift? Or where does it fall?
I do believe that it's a gift now.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say that it's my only gift.
Yeah.
So must I explain the other gifts or not?
Not necessarily. Where do you feel you are in terms of giving
mission.
the gift to
Okay.
the mission? Yeah.
So I feel like I'm in the process. I am giving away the gift since I'm serving under the worship team. So it's not like the gift is
Hidden
or packed somewhere else and like for future use and whatnot. I am active in it, but I don't think that I'd say I've mastered the gift. And I don't think I'll ever be in a space whereby I say that until Jesus decides to call me home and is like, we have wrapped this chapter of life.
We've run
now,
the race.
Until I hear those words, then I haven't done enough. People haven't been reached, as you're saying that it's for other people. As God gives us, it's not just for you, the person who carries the gift, but for the next person. There are nations that haven't been reached. There are nations that haven't heard my voice. There are churches that haven't heard my voice. And that's not me trying to gloat and whatnot, but I'm saying that I'm still confined, or rather right now I'm still based under the church that I'm serving in. And those are the people who get to see or encounter the gift. I mean, like there's still so much where the gift can go, So I'm like, okay, God, let's go there. Let the gift continue. But of course, there's also a gift of public speaking. There is a gift for preaching. There is a gift, the business side of things. So people need to be reached. And I really don't want to be selfish about the gifts. One of the biggest things or statements that I usually share with people, especially when it comes to the matter of purpose and gift and destiny, is that I don't want to be one day on my deathbed and I look back and I'm like, there's so much that I still wanted to do, I could have done. I want when Jesus comes and plays that tape, as people say, that you see your entire life. I'm like, yay! If ever that happens, I don't know. Jesus hasn't confirmed.
Get to watch the tape of your life.
But I want him when he plays and like, son, I'm about to take you home. And it's like, let's see what we have done. I want to be like, it's okay, God, take me home. I've done enough and I've left a legacy. A legacy that will not be about, hey, na ingane ka Sandile. That's it. No.
Now
like, no, it's not really about that, but a legacy that glorifies God, a legacy that will echo throughout eternity, a legacy that pushes people to pursue their gifts.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Okay, you're on the right platform.
Amen to that.
So I want to get into, obviously it hasn't been an easy journey for you, and through a lot of conversations we've had, I kind of figure even your family at first, when you decided to pursue your purpose and your calling, was a little bit like resistant. So what did it take for you to press into pursuing your calling despite, your circumstances? Because I think we all want to reach destiny. We all want to pursue our purposes. But sometimes people already have their ideas. Our parents, our family, our friends, they already have ideas of who they want you to become, or who they imagine you can become, what you should or what you shouldn't do. So sometimes it takes disappointing people, it takes displeasing them to please God and to pursue our destiny. True. So take us through that, the expense of pursuing your gift.
Calculate the cost. Those are the words that are coming to mind as you're just taking me there. Calculate the cost. And a whole lot of us, we do have, let me just say this, pursuing your gift or pursuing your destiny, it will cost you something. I think once we get that out of the way, we get to understand that you will have to fight for it. Sure. And I had to fight for it. Of course, I've disappointed people. Back at home, they wanted me to be a doctor. Maybe today I'll be sitting here as a gifted doctor at XOXO, whatever. Who knows? Or maybe I would have been the engine, because I never actually knew. I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't have the words for it. So my family would do this,
suggest
do that, suggest things. So they wanted me to be an engineer, they wanted me to be a doctor, they wanted me to be a physiotherapist. I was it was a whole lot. And then I completely did something different to what they had in mind. And it's something that I believe it's what I always wanted as a kid. So they were not happy. They were very disappointed. How could you pursue this path of being in the ministry and also using my voice, the gift in the ministry to minister through song? It just didn't make sense because I come from a disadvantaged background. So poverty stricken, and then we sent you to school, and then you decide to you get your degree, and then boom, you're going to be a pastor. Dude, what's wrong with you? Can't you see the need? Of course I saw the need, and it burdened me. I don't want to lie. It burdened me. It still burdens me right now. We're not yet out of the woods, but it took me into a space whereby I got so tired of being burdened by other people. I'm not saying that the burden wasn't mine. I wasn't part of it. Yes, it's sad that sometimes there will be no meal at home. But I understood that if I do not let this thing out, someone else is not benefiting. That I could be reaching people. People get to know about God, and why am I bottling this inside? And it also it had to get to a space whereby I understand that this gift comes from God, or each and every gift comes from God. And there is exactly a purpose, and the purpose is that God is glorified. Was God going to be glorified if I was that doctor? Was God going to be glorified if I was the engineer that they wanted me to be? I don't know. But they would have glorified me. They would have glorified me, my family, because I would have built that house they needed. There's food month end or daily, whatnot, because I'm doing the things, I'm the breadwinner in the house. They would have glorified me. But then now, would I have had the picture that I spoke about when I'm there in my deathbed and I'm about to go home? I don't want to be like, yes, I took care of my family. That's good.
But
Yes,
that's
it's
it.
good. You know, it's good. I'm not saying don't do that.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, as I've said, we count the cost. And I counted the cost. As painful as it was,
Yeah.
I stuck it through because I know one day I'll be sitting next to the mercy seat and I will have to account for the souls that I did reach and the souls that I didn't reach. I want God to sing and dance. I'm like, dude, you did it, man. You did it. Despite all the challenges, man, you stuck it through. And it's also understanding that God will provide for the gift.
Sure.
You know, because it's an unconventional career that I took.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they didn't expect that. But it's a matter of being led by faith and being led in the identity and the truth of who God is and whose you are and who are you in the kingdom of God.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean to preach, guys. I'm sorry.
Sure. That must have been hard. I mean, you must have had some massive faith, you know, to keep pressing in because it's not easy. Especially, I think it would be easier if you were disappointing extended family.
True.
Or just people who believe in you, but you're disappointing like your family.
My family.
You know.
Yeah.
So, where are you now? Are they like, are you guys okay now? Are they like believing in what you're doing now? Or is it still a bit of a...
It's still a journey, guys. It's still a journey.
Okay.
I think because of the setup,
Yeah.
they will only be okay when they see money. When they see that, oh, you're living in Umhlanga.
When they see the fruits.
When they see the, oh, you're driving a car now. Oh, what? You know, then I think that's when they'll be like, oh, cool, we get it. But it's not like there's animosity in the house.
Okay.
They know that this is what I do.
This is what you're doing. You're happy.
I'm happy here. Of course, they will have their own opinions about what I'm doing. But I think it's especially for people who are pursuing gifts.
Yeah.
We need to decide whose voice is loud. We
so
need
good.
to decide that because, I could have stuck through, or rather, turn up the volume on their voices and I wouldn't be here. And of course, I mean, there are moments whereby you doubt, like, God, is this really what you have called me into?
Yeah.
But when you increase the volume on what God is saying about your gift, I mean, He's the one who created you.
Yeah.
So He knows us best. Okudlula thina,
Yeah.
okudlula our families, you know, and the more you increase the volume on what God has spoken over your life, you keep persevering, you keep enduring, you keep faithing it out, you keep declaring and releasing the prophetic words that God has spoken over your life, the truths, because God is not a man that He should lie. So what He has spoken over your life, over your destiny, over your purpose is true.
Yeah.
And it's up to you to partner with that truth.
What a challenge. What a challenge. But sure, I commend you on that. Okay. So, you spoke about, just now you mentioned that God also provides for the gift. So, do you believe in those words in the Bible that say, our gift will make room for us, you know? And what does that look like for you? I mean, you mentioned Uzi, your family, basalinde, you know, the tangible fruits, imali, umuzi, you know, putting food on the table.
Yeah.
But do you believe in that thing that says our gift will make room for us? And what has that looked like for you? What does it look like for you now?
Well, I do believe that. I do. I've gotten to believe it. Of course, it wasn't always the case, like, let's go, boom, God will do the things. But I believe it, I've seen it, and God has been providing. God has been showing up. I do have the opportunity to plate, okay. But of course, the big stuff, they haven't come, but God has been providing. I'm just reminded, if He dresses the lilies with beauty and splendor,
Yeah.
how much more will he clothe you?
Yeah.
If he watches over every little sparrow, how much more will he love you? So God is there.
Yeah.
God is there, and it's a matter of journeying with him and understanding that God will provide in different ways. Of course, we can look at the Bible, we can see how God has provided. It was never the same.
Yeah.
It was always something new, and God has something fresh for your particular gift. God has something fresh for your skill, for your career, for your destiny. It might not be the same as to the next person.
Yeah.
But with you holding closer and being closer and in proximity with him, you know that, okay, God, you'll bring in the sponsors. God, you'll bring in the people who will partner. You'll bring in the mentor who's going to launch me and give me the right networks, mighty God. So he provides.
Yeah.
He will take care of his own.
Yeah.
He will take care of his own gift.
Yeah.
But we just have to be faithful with it and say, God, I'm here. I embrace the gift that you have given me, and I want to use it.
Yeah.
Show me how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you mentioned as well in a conversation we were having earlier that it also requires a step of faith from us.
Sure.
Yeah.
It is because, man, faith will make you do crazy things.
Yeah.
And faith is that push that you need, because right now, our economic situation says otherwise. And of which then it pushes you, or rather it makes you don't taking that step of wanting to start that business, of wanting to start that YouTube channel, of wanting to write that song, of wanting to release that painting or that canvas. It makes you so scared. But when you have faith on your side, you are able to step beyond the doubts, step beyond the worry, step beyond the natural circumstances that you're seeing. Just reminded that faith is our currency.
Sure. That one.
Faith is our currency. My pastor shared that. That's not my line, guys. Faith is our currency. So we have something to trade.
Yeah.
In the midst of worry, we trade with faith.
Sure.
And trading with faith is saying that, God, I know you will do it nonetheless. Despite what I'm seeing right now, I know that you will do it. And you know, we say that not because, hey, man, the dollars are there. Hey, we're saying that not because the recording company is there. They are not there. But all I have is the word that God has given me. All I have is the gift that God has given me and entrusted me with.
Yeah.
And then all that I now need to do is to step in. I'm like, God, you gave me this.
Yeah.
And I want to partner with you. But at the end of the day, guys, it will require us to do, or rather, to move in that power of choice. God has given us willpower. But if we don't want to partner with him, then we'll always think, is this it? Is God going to provide? For me, in my life, where I've seen God move is when I've actually taken the first step.
Wow.
And that is so interesting because I sit back and wonder, what would have happened then if I didn't, if I just sat back? I'm doing what I'm doing now because I took that first step. It was faith. Circumstances wasn't allowing. Situation wasn't allowing, and to some degree still not allowing. But each and every day, I'm like, God, I'm taking that step of faith. I'm taking that step of faith because you take care of your own, and you will take care of this gift as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he will provide.
Sure. Amen.
Yeah.
So, wow. Here we are, many years later.
Sure.
And there's a lot in store for you, you know, Mr. Triumphant.
Come on. Why are you revealing secrets now?
You know, sneak preview.
Stay tuned.
But I just want you to, before we close it off, to just share a word of encouragement. You know, we've spoken a lot about there's difficulties in pursuing our gift, in pursuing our calling. For some, maybe they don't even know what their gift is, you know. So how do you advise someone who may be watching this to say, you know what, this is how you can go about either pursuing your gift or finding your gift? How?
Yeah.
Where do I even start? You know.
Yeah, I did not know it was gonna get this tough. Thought it was just a conversation. But first of all, the gift is in you. The gift is in you. Do not have doubts about that. You're not gonna find your gift outside. You're not gonna find your gift overseas. The gift is in you. It's in you. So then, understanding who you are.
Sure.
Let's first get that. Who are you?
Know thyself.
Hey, whom are you? Know yourself, guys. Like I'm not going to emphasize that. Know yourself. I think if we go back to our conversation, I said the story of the lion, the story of Mufasa. That was me getting to a space rather of knowing who I am, getting my identity intact. And as you see, as I got through the process of knowing myself, then God started revealing the gift. It didn't just like, oh, I have the gift, I know, that's it, but I got it locked, man, let's go. No. Because now, if you don't know yourself, how are you going to steward the gift? Because you won't even believe that it's your gift or even see that it's a gift. You know, so it's important to know yourself and know God.
Wow.
Knowing God then will bring in the details of the gift that when yourself might not have.
Wow.
Because you don't know yourself, right? But you now know yourself, but who is God, the author and the finisher? The one who created you. He knows each and every bit of you, even that gift. And then from there on, you are able to move towards the gift that you have. And as I said, that the gift is in you. So all those things that feel like home, all those things that feel easy, they just flow from you. Pay attention to those things. To those who are parents right now, pay attention to your kid who's drawn to a guitar. Pay attention to your kid who's interested in cooking. Because then you are able to direct them as well and help them see that, oh, this is my gift. Unfortunately, some of us, we never had the opportunities where we're like, hey, wait, okay, get them up.
You're going to be this.
You know, but now we are a new generation.
Yes,
and we have to pay attention to all those finer details because what took you years to figure out, it shouldn't take our kids years to figure out.
Definitely.
You know, we should then be growing them into that and grooming them into their giftings. As I said, it should feel like home. It should flow within you. You know, pay attention if you're interested in cooking. What makes you interested in that? Why do you want to pursue that business? Why do you want to pursue that songwriting career or be a director somewhere else? Why? So I really do believe those are the important parts. Know yourself and know God. And from there, it will just flow.
Wow.
It will just flow. And then be bold enough to take the risks. Because God is not going to take the risk for you. I'm sorry. God is not going to take that step for you. We have to. The onus is on us. God will reveal, but God will not move for you. We have to move so that it reaches the necessary people. Yeah.
It'll feel like home.
Yeah.
Wow. I
A
love
sense of
that.
peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Mufasa. I did not expect that. It has been so good. Just, wow, listening to everything you have to say. Man, there's a whole lot of wisdom up in here.
My God. It's the grey beard, guys. It's the grey beard.
But thank you so much for pouring out your heart and just sharing your life with us. And for you who may be watching out there, I hope and I pray that it has done something for you. It has moved you to something. It has moved you to know yourself. Whomst are you?
Hey.
What is your gift?
What is your gift?
Yeah.
Amen.
But
Amen.
I wish you all the best for everything that's coming.
Thank you. Hi.
And I pray you receive all the answers to all the miracles you are hoping
thanks,
for.
Trin. Thanks.
Until the next conversation, keep well, you're loved, be gifted.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.